Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Drama-O-Rama Online. I'm Mrs. Combs, and I'm so excited to share this time with you today. Now, remember to have your journals ready, and let's get started. For today's warm-up, we are going to play a game called Human Beans. I'm going to call out different kinds of beans. Broad beans, where you stretch as wide as you can. String beans, where you stretch as high as you can. Frozen beans, where you freeze, hugging yourself. Jelly beans, where you wobble your whole body. And jumping beans, where you jump up and down. So this is a fast-paced listening game. And it's really important that you listen very carefully as I call out each type of bean. Are you ready? Find a safe space to move around. Then stand in neutral. Let's get ready to move. And frozen, jumping, broad, jelly, string, broad, string, broad, jelly, jumping, frozen, jumping, string, jelly, frozen, and neutral. Very good. Today, we are going to explore communication. Communication is the act of exchanging information from one group, one person, or one place to another. Communication involves a sender, a message, and a recipient, someone who is receiving the message. So right now, I am the sender, and the message is discussing the next drama game, and you are the recipient. You are receiving this message. So we are going to explore 3 types of communication. Verbal, which is using our words. Nonverbal, using facial expressions, eye contact, posture, and gestures. And listening, namely active listening. Active listening is so important. It's the only way we can truly understand someone and truly communicate with them. So, how do we actively listen? Well, first we make eye contact with the speaker. And then we nod our heads to show that we understand what the speaker is saying. Next, we lean forward to show that we're interested in what the speaker is saying. And we smile to show respect and encouragement. So all of these cues are non-verbal. So some verbal cues could be not interrupting the speaker while the speaker is talking, and being able to ask questions and summarize what the speaker said when he or she is finished. So let's practice today the nonverbal cues. So first, make eye contact with me. Next, I am going to tell a story. And I want you, while I am telling this story, to maintain eye contact with me, nod your head to show that you understand, lean forward to show that you are interested, and smile to show respect and encouragement. Are you ready? Let's get ready to actively listen. First, make eye contact with me. So, the other day, I was in my backyard and I could hear all different kinds of birds. And it sounded like some of them were talking to one another. There was one bird that would go, hee hee, and then I'd hear another one respond, hee, hee, hee. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is so interesting. It really sounded like they were talking to each other from opposite ends of the yard. And then I heard, whoo, 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 whoo. And I thought, why is an owl out during the day? And I looked up in the tree and there was this giant owl and it just was like showing me its wingspan, and it was huge. I've never seen an owl that big. It was really amazing. And then I saw a family of robins, and their chests are bright orange. And it was so much fun to see them kind of flipping around and picking worms out of the ground. And then in one tree, there was this bright red cardinal just flying around, darting from tree to tree branch. It was so cool. And then I heard first this sound going, ee, ee. And I thought, that's an interesting sounding bird. And I looked up and there was this graceful hawk just circling the neighborhood. It was really cool looking. And then finally, I just couldn't imagine this happening too, but two geese flew overhead, and I heard two of them going honk, honk, honk as they were flying overhead. They were just chatting with each other. It's amazing just to hear all of the birds in our yard, so many of them. I just love being in my backyard. Very good. So, were you able to make eye contact with me? And were you able to nod to show that you understood what I was saying? And did you lean forward to show that you were interested? And did you smile to show respect and to encourage me while I told my story? Well, if you did, then you should be able to retell my story in your own way, since you were actively listening. Our next game is simply called the response game. I'm going to say a series of sentences, and I want you to actively listen to what I say, then react and respond when I'm finished. Remember to use facial expressions, body positions, and gestures to support what you say as a response. So, for example, if I say, hey, you wouldn't want to play kickball with me, would you? So you're looking at all of my different cues. You are actively listening to what I'm saying. You see my nonverbal cues and how I'm saying what I'm saying. So you're picking up that maybe I'm a little unsure or a little nervous about asking you. And so maybe your response would be wanting to make me feel better. So maybe one response could be, sure, I'll play kickball with you. And you know what? I'll call my friends over and they can play with us too. So that is just a typical conversation. Two people communicating. There was a sender and a recipient, and then a response. So what I'm going to do is I am going to say a sentence, and I just want you to simply respond to what I say. And if you need more time, go ahead and press pause on the video, and you could also practice different responses. Are you ready? Remember to actively listen, then react and respond. Hey you, come here. We're having liver and onions for dinner tonight. No screen time until you finish your homework. I found your lost puppy. Here she is. We are going to Disneyland for your birthday. Today, we were able to explore 3 types of communication: verbal, nonverbal, and active listening. We practiced active listening by making eye contact, nodding our heads to show that we understood, leaning forward to show that we were interested, and smiling to show respect and encouragement to the speaker who was telling a story. We also practiced listening, reacting, and responding appropriately to what was said in a series of sentences or conversation starters. By actively listening, we can better understand one another. We can show respect and empathy, and this makes us better communicators. And as Carl Menninger said, if we are listened to, it creates us and makes us unfold and expand. It's time for today's journal prompt. I want you to think about the 3 types of communication: verbal, nonverbal, and active listening. I want you to practice communicating with a family member. Make eye contact, nod, lean forward, and smile. And when they are finished talking, respond to what they said or ask questions. Then draw a picture of you and your family member communicating together using speech bubbles. And remember, use details. Thank you so much for exploring verbal communication, nonverbal communication, and active listening with me today. Until next time, we'll sing goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.